Hey, how you doing today? I am Takiya Coleman, best-selling author, chief master coach of the God-Ordained Certified Life Coaching Program. Listen, hey there, Tyra. I see you in the chat. Blessings to you, and thank you for the super sticker. Listen, before we get started, let me know if I am coming through clearly. Let me know if you can hear me. But if this is your first time catching me live, welcome, 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 welcome. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and drop hashtag first timer down in the chat. Also, where's my inspired authors at? If you are an inspired author, if you're currently writing a book, working on a book, go ahead and drop that in the chat. Okay, I want to see where y'all at. Hey there, Gigi. Thanks for joining us. And congratulations to Gigi. She just published her book as well. Um, it's a children's book which can be found over on Amazon. You can get the link if you go to my post page right here and scroll down. You will see her book right there in the thread. So come on in, everyone. Come on in. It is so pretty. I like that children's book. Um, yeah, come on in, everyone. Okay, so we're talking about 10 common mistakes inspired authors make when writing a book. Okay, 10 common mistakes inspired authors make when writing a book. Okay, I made all the mistakes for you. Okay, so that you don't have to make these mistakes. So I'm going to share with you, these 10 common mistakes um, you don't even have to make. Okay, if you listen closely. For those of you who do not know, I'm a 9-time best-selling author over on Amazon. I published 9 books, and I kind of took a break with writing books. I need to get back to it. So I know all about these mistakes, and yeah, we're gonna get right into it. Okay, so number one, get your pen and paper out. Number one, the first common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book is writing with no clear direction. Okay, writing with no clear direction. So usually how this come about, you are excited, you're like, yes, I'm going to write a book about my life, or you want to write a book about whatever success you have received in your own life, and you're excited, you're like, yes, right? And you sit down, you open up your, I don't know if it's Word doc or your Google doc, but you open it up and you just start writing. You're like, yes, I got something to say, right? And you start writing, and you probably complete chapter 1. You probably even get chapter 2 done, right? But because you don't have a clear direction, when you get to chapter 1 or chapter 2, you hit writer's block. You're like, okay, you're like, I don't know what else to write about because you got everything out in chapter 1 and chapter 2, right? So here's the thing, okay? There's a strategy to writing, okay? There's certain things you do want to put in place before you sit down to start writing your book, okay? Um, okay, you have to know that, okay? Um, writing is like a roadmap. You got to know, this is where I'm at and this is where I'm going, okay? You need something to follow. But yeah, writing with no clear direction, this is a common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book. And once you have already written out chapter 1 and chapter 2, and you hit that writer's block, then you start procrastinating because you're like, I don't know what else to write. And then you start pushing it to the side. You say, I come back to this next week. I come back to this, next month, and next month turn into next year, right? Only for the Lord to come back and say, hey, write the book. Okay, so um, you want to make sure you're not right. You're not making this mistake. Okay. Hey there, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining us. The second common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book is not defining your book reader. Okay. I know you think your book is for everyone. Listen, the only book that is for everyone is the Bible. Okay. So, if I'm speaking to you and you like, my book is for everyone, it can help men, women, children, boy, girl. Listen, this is a mistake you don't want to make. Okay. This is a mistake you don't want to make. All right. The only book that is for everyone is the Bible. Okay. So your book, if you haven't already realized it yet, your book has a book reader. Okay. Which is you, you're before. Okay. And so you got to get clear on this. All right. Who is your book reader? Who are the people when they hear about this book? It's going to catch their attention, and have them to go ahead and purchase a copy of your book. You got to get clear on that. All right. Yes. Elizabeth said exactly. You have to be specific to your target audience. You do. Yep. Because if you target everyone, then you're targeting no one. Hmm. Yep. So number 3, the third common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book is not clearly identifying the transformation or the problem your book will solve. Okay. Again, that God has given you success. You got a story to tell, and again, you sit down and you just start writing, right? Or, after you start writing, when you start thinking about titling your book, you come up with these little cute titles. It's cute, but when you look at the title has nothing to do with the book. Okay. So here's the thing. Cute titles, cute titles get overlooked. Okay. Okay. It's a strategy to this. Okay. What is it saying? Let's see. Do you hone in on your audience on the front page of book through the subtitle? Yep. And I'm gonna just say this right here. This teaching, the 10 common mistakes inspire authors make when writing a book. It is inspired by my the best-selling author group coaching program. Okay, so if you want to, know how to hone in on your audience, like how to come up with your book title, the subtitle, that's going to capture your book reader attention, then make sure you sign up to the program. Just head over to GodOrdainedEnterprise.com/bestseller. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, cute titles, they're going to get overlooked. Okay. I want you to think about, what makes you purchase other people's book. It probably was more than likely probably the cover, probably something on the cover of that book grabbed your attention. It could have been a title, that captured your attention, right? So having cute titles, that's cute. But we need transformational titles, okay? We need titles that's going to speak to the problem, okay? Your book is going to solve for this particular person, okay? Number 4, the fourth common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book is you edit while you write. Trying to edit your manuscript while you're still writing the book. That's a mistake. A lot of inspired authors make. I remember making this mistake early on. And the thing is, you don't want to make that mistake because you're going to find yourself stopping, like start, stop, never making that big progress you're looking for. Okay. And this is the thing, this is the mindset you want to have. You are, the star. You are the expert. Okay. You are the author. Okay. So be that. Your job is to get the content out. Okay. Your job is to get that content out. Okay. And let somebody else do that editing part for you. Okay. So you don't want to edit while you're writing your book. Okay. Number 5. The fifth common mistakes inspired authors make when writing a book is pour your entire life story into one book. Okay, pour your entire life story into one book. When I was in a single mother community, because it was the Lord who positioned me there, and He, was prompting me to share my story at that time, and so I wrote the book From Depression to Deliverance: How God Healed My Heart in 30 Days, right? So that was one piece of my story. And then from that community, the second book I wrote was Pregnant and Alone. Okay. And then I birthed How to Raise Children Without Father, So, you know, you got to begin to understand, you know, trying to pour your whole life story into one book. Come on now, that's gonna overwhelm you. It's gonna frustrate you. Okay. And yeah, just gonna overwhelm you and frustrate you. Okay. So you got to figure out, how can I break this down? Maybe it's a series. Okay, maybe this is a book series you can put together. Okay. Number 6. Hold on for 1 second. All right, number 6. The sixth common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book is designing your own cover. Okay, without skills. So here's the thing. Certain things, yes, if you got some if you learn how to design, yes, you could design, little banners here and there. But when we talk about, this is your first book you about to publish, you don't want to, if you're not called to that, like if you're trying to figure out how do I design my book, go ahead and pay somebody to go ahead and design you a beautiful cover for your book. Okay, because here's the thing. A powerful message wrapped in an amateur cover gets ignored. Okay. You don't want people overlooking your book because of how the book cover look. Okay. So make sure you are taking out the time to properly invest, okay, into, hiring a graphic designer to design your book cover. Okay. And again, when you think about what is it that causes me to um, buy other people's book, 9 times out of 10, it's probably how that book look. It's probably, I love to buy little cute books. Give me a little pink little book or whatever. If it's cute, I love to uh buy that. But it's probably was how the book look. It looks clean, cute or whatever, professional. That's probably what captured your attention. Now, if you designed your book cover in the past, and it came out beautiful, then yeah, great job. But for most people, if you don't have that skill set, you might want to go ahead and invest into hiring someone to design your book cover. Okay. All right. Number 7. The 7 common mistakes inspired authors make when writing a book is not building an audience before publishing your book. Okay. You don't want to make the mistake of going through the writing process. You wrote your book, you know, had it, edit or whatever, and you publish the book ready, but you have no one to sell the book to. Okay. That's a mistake you want to avoid making. Okay. So, again, you want to make sure you have someone to sell your book to. And here's the thing. I know you want to sell it to your mom, your dad, your family. It'd be great if your family, it's always great when families support us, okay? But you're going to have to go beyond the family, okay? You're going to have to go beyond family and friends and, step out and start building your own platform, okay? Build your platform down so that once the book is published, you have someone to, sell your book to. Okay. Number 8, the 8 common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book is not pricing your book correctly. Okay. Don't make the mistake. Um, as soon as you're publishing your book, of assuming, oh, people don't have any money. Don't assume that. Don't assume if you price your book very low, then you're going to get a lot of sales. Not necessarily. Okay. Your pricing reflect your value. It reflects, your pricing is a reflection of how you see yourself, how you see your book. Okay. So you don't always want to go low. Okay. Um, so don't underprice your book. Okay. And don't look at what other people are charging for their book and assume, okay, I'm gonna charge this for my book. No, I'm gonna tell you something, because what makes the book valuable is what's inside of it. Okay. It's what's inside of it. When I read your book, how is your book going to transform, my life? That's what's valuable. So make sure you are pricing your book the right way. Number 9. The ninth common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book is you said I think between 1999 and 29.99 is a good place to start. I mean, yeah, that's great, but again, what if you got $39.99, worth of valuable content in your book? You see what I'm saying? That's a good place to start. But what if you got, more value in that book? Okay. I remember I had bought a book. It was like a book slash workbook. But that book was like $50, and I paid for it, but it was very valuable. It really helped me, you know. But that's a good place to start. Which number are we on? We're on number 9. The ninth common mistakes inspired authors make when writing a book is not having a publishing strategy. Okay, you have no plan, to launch your book. You have no marketing strategy. You have no email list. You probably like, what is the email list? You have, you just have no strategy in place, right? What are you going to do after the book is published? Okay. You got to start thinking about these things. And again, these are the things that I'm going to be, taking you all through inside of my best-selling author group coaching program. Okay. We're gonna help you, to plan out your launch strategy. Okay. I'm going to help you to, or teach for some of you, I'm going to teach you how to market your book. Okay. You need a publishing strategy. Okay, just publishing the book and having it up on Amazon and just saying, okay, well, maybe people will just go and buy it. No, it don't work like that. Mm-mm. When you become an author, that also means you become a salesman. Okay, so you need to know how to sell. You need to now you got to learn how to market. Okay, social media marketing, offline marketing. You have to learn how to get your book in front of your readers. Okay, so don't just think just because I hit publish and it's over here, then it's going to sell itself. Not necessarily. Okay. And then number 10, the 10th common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book. And then let me just say this before I go into number 10, because I think it was my third book. My first book is called The Confident Sister Handbook. The second book is called From Depression to Deliverance. And my third book, Pregnant and Alone, that's the book right there. I implemented one strategy when I published that book. I implemented one strategy that caused that book to hit bestseller status. Okay. And I didn't even know, I didn't even know what I was doing at that time. I just the idea came to my mind. I implemented, put it in place, and bam, just like that. It was on autopilot. I was like, oh my God, okay, this stuff worked. Right. So you need a strategy. Okay. You need a strategy. Number 10, the 10th common mistake inspired authors make when writing a book is you have no timeline for your book. You have no timeline for your book. What is your, do you have a deadline for your writing? Do you have a deadline for your editing? Do you have a deadline, a publication date? Do you have a marketing timeline, or are you just winging it? You're like, I want to be done with this book. I want the book done, sometime next year. When? Because if you don't put a deadline, if you don't put dates, okay, set timelines for, your book, you would never get done. You'll never get done. You'll keep on pushing it back. The deadline, the timeline you had in mind, it's going to creep up on you, and then you're going to push it back another 3 more months. So we need timelines for your book. Okay? Timelines for your book. I remember I used to, because when I started writing, I need peace and quiet. I do. I need peace and quiet. And when I started writing a book, I don't want this book to take me about 30 days, 3 months. So I would go, I'm gonna tell you what I used to do. I would go to the hotel. And I leave my children with the babysitter. I go to the hotel for a whole day. And that's where I would just write. I would get it done. My first book, I wrote that book in 3 days. I sent my child at the time. I sent him, to his father's house, and I wrote that book in 3 days. In 3 days, that book was already written, edited, and published. ready to go. Hmm. Yeah, hey there, Sanette. Thank you for the super sticker. So you need, okay, deadlines. All right. That's what's going to help motivate you, okay, to get this book done and published on time. That when you have deadlines, you put dates, on when you want this done, it eliminate all of this procrastination, all of the excuses, okay? So those are the 10 tips. Okay, the 10 common mistakes inspired authors make when writing a book. You don't have to make these mistakes. Okay, so if you're ready to avoid these mistakes, gain clarity, and publish a book that positions you as credible, impactful author, then it's time to join the Bestselling Author Group Coaching Program. You can do that by clicking the link in the description area, or you can just head over to God-Ordained Marriage Enterprise.com/bestseller. Okay. When you sign up, you will receive, check your email, you will receive an email from me with all the details of the class. Okay. So after you sign up, you're going to receive the details of the date, the time, and the location of the class. Okay. You can't see that right now, but you will get it after you sign up. So what questions do you all have regarding what I just talked about, or book, publishing your book? Yeah, let's see. You said this book is for single moms waiting on marriage. Yeah, that'd be a great book. That'd be a great book teaching single moms, how to wait well, for marriage. That would be a great book. Yeah, so I give you a few more seconds to put your comments, questions in the chat. Okay. What's a good platform to use to write your book on? Is there a software? I don't use a software. I open up Google Docs. Yeah, I open up Google Docs. Some people use Word Doc, and I just start writing from there. Yeah. You can use the software, for those who don't like to write, or you just want to get your book done, like within the next 2 to 3 days. I can't remember what it's called, but you can, it's a software that you download to your desktop computer, and you can speak, like you can record yourself speaking your book, and it would transcribe it. Okay, it would write it out into a doc for you, and you can have that book already completed, and done, in the next 2 to 3 days, just by you speaking it. But I use Google Docs. Yeah, that's a great question. Yep. So, all right, everyone. Those are like I said, those are the 10 common mistakes inspired authors make when writing a book. You don't have to make these mistakes, okay? It's time for us to go to the next level, okay? Overcome these mistakes, and get it done, okay? So if you know God has called you to write your book, publish your book, get your book out there, then now is the time, okay? This price, what is priced at right now, it will never be priced at this level ever again. Okay. So they said, do you suggest we get an editor? Yes. Yep. Yep. Number one, if you're not, I don't suggest you edit your own book if that's not your skill set, but I do suggest you get an editor. That's part of the publication process I take my clients through. Mhm. Yep. So inside of our best-selling author program, we got, it's like a three-step process. We go over the writing process, the publication process, And I actually added on another one, but we go over the writing, the publication process, and I teach you how to sell your book. But I added on another module to teach, about how to. I don't want to say what it is, but it's another module added on there because I noticed for some of my clients, they tend to get stuck around this particular part, of the process. So I added that as a class. But yes, get an editor, hire an editor to edit your book. Yeah. So, all right, everyone, you all enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to try to come back on here tomorrow with more tips around, getting your book out there. But other than that, you all enjoy the rest of your day. And I will see you all tomorrow. Take care.